It's time again for Ninja Warrior of Halo! Today marks ExtremeUKGaming's 100th video, and to commemorate this, I've decided to do my top 10 favourite runs on the show, which is a big ask considering I've had to choose from 600 different runs. The only rule that applies to this, guys, the runs that I've picked have been based on their entire run. So say for example, if someone makes it to stage 2, then I've based it on their stage 1 and their stage 2 rather than just one individual stage. With that in mind, guys, let's kick off my personal top 10 favourite runs on Ninja Warrior of Halo. If there's one thing we love to see, guys, it's a retard run, and we've been blessed for choice over the last 12 tournaments, as many of the contestants can't wait to jump into the water. This man, Spencernator, used to do it all the time. In his 6 previous attempts on the Halo Reach course, he never once got past the first obstacle. But it's usually the unexpected runs which are the most entertaining, and in Tournament 6 we got exactly that from Black Ghost, who produced the most unexpected run of them all. His run started well enough, as he managed to overcome the first obstacle with ease, but then when he got to the rolling ball he got it stuck and was left in a pickle. And what did he do to try and fix the situation? This. In an incredible turn of events, guys, Black Ghost shot the ball so hard he knocked it completely off the track. It's something I'd never seen before and something that's never happened since, so it truly is a unique moment, and of course was completely unexpected. The amount of laughter in that game lobby was one of the loudest I've ever heard. So hats off to Black Ghost. Keep on doing what you do with them balls. The next run on this countdown actually comes from the most recent tournament uploaded. In Tournament 12, EXposed made his debut on this course, but whilst he had competed in Smoky Massacre's course prior to this run, he was a relative unknown coming into this course, but he ended up producing not only one of the best runs of the tournament, but the second best run ever by a contestant making their debut. Only Re95 in Tournament 2 has produced a better debut performance. What really made this run stand out, guys, was the amount of control that EXposed showed. He never once panicked and never once looked like falling in either of the first 2 stages, proving that practice truly does make perfect. Although he suffered a heartbreaking exit in stage 3, his run was one of the best ever. And it also shows that as well as it being one of the best runs of the past, EXposed could be a competitor to watch in the future. At number 8 is a run from Tournament 8, a tournament that which pretty much proved to be a complete disaster all round, as almost every contestant was undone by the revamped Stage 1. The only real good success story that came out of this tournament was from Duster Buster 2K, a contestant who prior to this tournament had competed 5 times before and never once completed Stage 1, despite his dedication that he's shown to the show. One of his previous attempts had seen him reach the finish line, but he was 2 seconds out of time. So when he came into this tournament, not many people had high hopes for him. But his determination shone through as he managed to complete Stage 1 for the first time ever in his career, finishing with just half a second left on the clock. Then in Stage 2 he stood up to the pressures of the obstacles and once again put on another heroic performance, despite the fact he could have fallen many a time on this stage. Whilst he was left dangling for dear life near the end, he once again completed it, and again with less than a second on the clock. Although he was ultimately undone on the very first obstacle in Stage 3, his performance was very memorable, nerve-wracking and inspirational, because it showed even though he'd been knocked down many times before, he kept getting back up, and this time he succeeded. So congratulations to Duster. And of course in this tournament, you beat Drago! Tournament 10 was the first tournament to take place on Halo 4, and it provided an opportunity for new contestants to show off their skills. But it was probably returning competitor iSpiteful who came out of this tournament as the happiest, as he managed to complete Stage 1 for the first time ever in his career, just like Duster did. This was not expected, especially considering in his 4 previous attempts on the Halo Reach course, he'd only managed to get past the 3rd obstacle once. So he was certainly not considered to be a candidate to complete Stage 1 in this tournament, but complete it he did, and he destroyed it in fact, finishing with the fastest time overall. His run then almost became a dream run when he came just short of making it to Stage 3, but he fell, and it wasn't to be. Nevertheless, the unexpectedness and the true surprise factor that came from this run has earned Spiteful a spot at number 7 on this countdown. Back in the old days, Irish 1200 was probably the most dedicated competitor to compete on the Halo Reach course. And in Tournament 6, that dedication finally paid off, as he managed to complete Stage 1 for the first time ever in his career. Then, in Stage 2, like Spiteful, he performed well on the obstacles, but as he neared the end, time was against him, and he suffered probably the most heartbreaking exit I've ever seen on the course, because of how close he came. The reason though that this run is incredibly memorable is because his next appearance in the very next tournament proved to be his last before he suddenly and quite mysteriously disappeared off Xbox, never to be seen again. This was a sad moment, and many of us, particularly myself and ExtremeUKGaming, believe Irish still had plenty more to give. So because of his early dedication that he showed when he was here, and his sudden exit, his one moment of greatness has earned himself a spot on this countdown. Long live the Irish! In Tournament 9, returning veteran and Medpack XD, or as he's now known, iGametypes, made his 7th appearance on the course. He started by shooting not 1, but 2 grenades out of the sky. A very unique intro. So, with such an entertaining entrance to the course, could his exit be as equally entertaining? His run started normally enough as he completed Stage 1 with ease, but then in Stage 2, he decided to take a risk. A risk that didn't pay off. In incredible circumstances, a medpack produced what is still in my opinion the best ever wipeout on Ninja Warrior of Halo, as he decided to try and risk it and take the dodgeball obstacle fast, and instead he was smacked right in the face and smacked right into the water. Such stupidity and such a brilliant wipeout has earned him number 5 on this countdown. At number 4 is another run from Tournament 9, this one provided by Elite MKB, and this was a run that could have gone so different. His Stage 1 run started well enough, but then he was being pegged back by the warped wall, and it looked like he was going to fail Stage 1 for the 3rd tournament in a row. But he persevered, he beat the warped wall, and then he clawed his way across the finish line with just 9/100ths of a second left on the clock. At the time, the closest ever finish in Ninja Warrior of Halo history. This run stands out because it proved to be the catalyst that saw the rise of Elite MKB to becoming one of the top jumpers on this course. And yet, it could have been completely different. If he'd been just a second, just half a second slower in Stage 1, he would have failed, and maybe things could have been completely different. Such is the small margins between success and defeat on this course. But Elite came out of this one a success. Now some of you may not know this, but ExtremeUKGaming is a bit of a wally, and he's been showing it ever since he made his debut on this course, all the way back in Tournament 3, when he chose to completely ignore the rolling ball on his Stage 1 run. But it's his Tournament 6 run that stands out for me, as he managed to combine insanity with determination. Determination in the form of a practice course that he built prior to this tournament to train on. And that practice proved to be worth it, as he managed to complete all of the Stage 1 obstacles with ease, and was on for finishing with a fast time. But his derpiness then took control, and he decided to showboat at the finish line. In Stage 2, he again showed the derpiness along with the determination, as he combined Michael Jackson moonwalks and little twirls in the conveyor belt with pure concentration on all of the other obstacles and a strong finish on the vehicle ramps. this run really stands out for me because even though Dom knows that the audience like to see him act like a Wally, in this tournament he showed off just how strong a competitor he can be, with determination that could even match that of an all-star. And just goes to show that Dom will do whatever he can to perform well on this course. Meh, even if it involves cheating every so often. Throughout his entire career, USS Defiant 1 was always considered the second best competitor on this course. But in Tournament 5, he made it his own, as he put on a near-perfect performance. A performance that saw him absolutely massacre the Stage 1 course, completing it with the fastest ever time, a record of 29.5 seconds, which still stands to this day. In Stage 2 he moved smoothly and carefully, before then saving his best performance for Stage 3. He defeated every obstacle with ease, he never made a single mistake, and then advanced to the final. What made it even sweeter was that his brother and fellow All-Star Drago is Sick also made it to the final. But it was Defiant who nearly stole the show, but he ran out of time just 2 seconds from the finish line. 2 seconds from total victory. It was a run that so deserved total victory, and perhaps deserved Defiant to become a grand champion. But those 2 seconds saw delight turn into despair. But what a memorable run, nonetheless. Come on, I mean, who else was it going to be, really? Re95's championship-winning performance in Tournament 4 it still stands as my personal favourite ever run on the show. He came into the tournament as the #1 competitor, but he was looking to take revenge, having failed Stage 1 in the last tournament. It wasn't all smooth sailing, he did have a bit of trouble on the hill climb, but he beat it, and then beat Stage 1 with a decent amount of time left on the clock. And then in Stage 2, he again had a close call on the vehicle ramps, but was able to save it, and again complete this stage with a strong amount of time. In Stage 3, he absolutely dominated the entire course, never once looked like falling, and advanced to the final stage for the second time in his career. And then, in the final stage, history was made, as he became the first and currently only person to ever complete the final stage successfully. He raced up the sinister staircase, and then the turret climb, and finished the stage with 3.1 seconds left on the clock, and rightfully earned the right to sit on the throne at the top of the tower as the Grand Champion. A truly memorable moment, despite the shitty camera work, and one that will never be forgotten. And that was my personal top 10 favourite runs so far on Ninja Warrior of Halo. And if you guys have got a slightly different countdown, leave your version in the comments below. And whilst we've been looking at the best runs of the past, we also have the runs of the future to look forward to, guys, with Tournament 13 hopefully coming up very soon, and more importantly, Tournament 15 will be starting this Sunday, the 6th of July, and the runs will end on the 17th of August, 6 weeks later. So you'll have between the 6th of July and the 17th of August to do a run. The times are all up there on the screen, guys. I'll try and get on as many days as I can, based on my work and my racing. Message me on Xbox Live or leave a comment below to reserve a spot. Please note, if you reserve a spot but then you wait until the last second to do your run, your spot may be given away to someone else, so try and do your run as early as possible, guys. Stage 1's available to practice on my file share, or to download and practice. If anyone's got any queries or problems, message me or leave a comment below. With that being said, I hope to see you all for Tournament 15. I've been HunterUnit751. Goodbye.